Are you interested in putting together your own workout but not really sure where to begin? I have good news for you. You can get a full body workout with 6 different functional movements. Today I'm going to tell you what these functional movements are and give you a few examples so you can be on your way to being empowered to build the best workout for you. Functional movement is a push. Now this is anything that is pushing something away from your body. The first one we often think about is a push-up, which absolutely, yes. And if you are unfamiliar with exactly how to do a push-up with proper form, I have this video for you that you can watch that will show different kinds of modifications depending on what is right for your body. You can also do things like a chest press if you have weights available to you. And there are various ways of doing chest press with weights or bands. Or maybe something like overhead presses where we are focusing a bit more on our shoulders rather than our chest, but that is still a push. And just a side note, if you do overhead presses and if you are over 40, I recommend doing those with your elbows in rather than out, which can cause shoulder impingement or injury. The second functional movement is a pull. Now, I don't know about you, but my mind goes to pull-ups first. You will not see me demoing those because I can't do them very well. But I also realize how important it is to do pulling exercises to strengthen my back, which helps support my spine. So what do? Well, I do love resistance bands and loops to help strengthen my spine. I've done a couple of different videos on pulling exercises, so you can reference those. But 3 that I recommend here is just getting a band and pulling back, doing some rows. You can also do some lateral raises with weights or with a band. Again, that has a bit more focus on your shoulders, but if it's a shoulder day, that's a pull and that's a wonderful one to do. And finally, you can do some things like bent over rows. Personally, I like to use a chair or a bench or something to support my back. So that way I'm not arching my back and moving into poor form, but a bent over row is a wonderful pull to do for your back. Third functional movement is a squat. This is basically when you have your feet solid on the floor and you are taking your body weight down. And of course, this can be just body weight or with added weights. Again, if you are unclear about having proper form, you can watch this video. Another type of squat you may want to do is a plie squat. So your feet are out wider, your knees are out wider, and we're taking our legs in more of a transverse or an open position rather than staying that front facing. And you can even do a split stance squat. So that feels a little bit more like a lunge position where you have one foot in front of the other, but you're keeping those legs down and going down and then coming back up. Of course, there are plenty of ways to get a squat in high intensity, things like jump squats or box jumps, and those are wonderful for your cardiovascular health as well. Number 4, a hinge. A hinge is basically a movement where you are bending at your hips while your legs often stay steady and you keep your spine neutral. It's like a door frame. Your legs are like the frame and your upper body is like the door that moves. The frame stays steady, the door moves. So the door is like your upper body when you are hinging down. These can be things like RDLs or Romanian deadlifts, bell swings, and believe it or not, a glute bridge is a hinge movement as well. Number 5 is single leg. A single leg movement is just that. It primarily uses one leg to do the movement. And these are wonderful for improving your balance or your stability. So if that's something that you're focusing on, single legs can help with that. Examples of these can be walking lunges, single leg squats, or anything where you are stepping up with one foot. So if you step up on a box jump, that also is single leg. Now the 6th movement is actually 6 and 7, or 6A and B. As I have learned in my continuing education, I have seen this 2 ways, so I'm just going to share both of these with you and you can choose which one you want to do. The first is a carry, and it is just that. It's when we carry weight from one point to another. You can do things like a farmer's carry, where you carry heavy dumbbells, both of equal weight. You can do a suitcase carry, which is just one weight, but as you go, you want to make sure that your shoulders are nice and steady and your hips are nice and steady. So you're keeping everything balanced, but you're only holding one weight. And then you can do offset. So get one heavy, one lighter, and walk with that. Again, keeping everything steady. And then obviously when you repeat it, do it on the other side. 6B is transverse movements. So transverse is anything that is taking your body across a plane of motion. Rather than staying in the front or on the side, we're moving. So there's often spinal rotation or hip rotation that comes with this. And that can be upper body or lower body. So you can do some single arm pullbacks with a lunge. That's a great way to get upper body and lower body. You can do some curtsy lunges, or even some more mobility or yoga type movements like going from a plank to bringing your foot on the outside of your hands and lifting your hand up. That's another wonderful transverse movement. There you have it. Those are the 6+ functional movements that you can use to put your own workout together. And hey, if this was helpful to you, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a great day.